Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome to the Punk Rock Condition, where we explore, discover, and appreciate all things punk rock. Today is episode one of the monthly playlist, and I'm very excited about this because this is going to be something that we're doing consistently here to share music and appreciate and discover this stuff together. So let me just give you a brief description of how I put these things together and the thought process that goes into it. So they're going to be 60 songs with 10 bands and 6 songs from each band. They're designed to be listened to and digested over the course of a month. And the reason that I picked 6 songs from each band is because I just feel like it's a good enough cross section of who these bands are. 6 songs feels like a fair shake for any band. So this initially started with my brother and I looking at just general frustration with the Spotify algorithm. And even though we listen to a ton of different stuff like regularly, it's always like just feeding you the same stuff over and over. And even though it's stuff you like, it becomes frustrating. So we decided to try to break the algorithm ourselves. And so by picking 10 bands, you try to be a little bit diverse with those bands that you pick. So there's no set rules that go into it, but generally speaking, what we're trying to do is pick a couple of bands that we love, right? And give ourselves an excuse to revisit them, possibly dive into some albums that you haven't listened to in a long time, and just be like, oh, yeah, good. Got a chance to listen to them again. Other than that, you've got bands that you've always been familiar with, but possibly haven't listened to them enough, haven't gotten into them enough. So it's like, maybe I should dive in a little more. And you might discover something that you're really excited about and then go from being a casual fan to that band to a legitimate fan of that band. And then the obvious other category that these bands are going to fit into is new stuff. New stuff that you've come across and already dig it a little bit and need to give it a more and really dive into their discography and see how much material they have, what kind of band they are, if it's straightforward or if they have different elements to their sound, and figuring out who they are. So yeah, it's a lot. 60 songs, 10 bands, 6 songs from each band. It's a good bit, but it's fun. So within picking those 6 songs for each band, I typically try to find something maybe from their earlier part of their career and something that they've just put out. This way you can see if their sound is evolving, and you can figure out which part of where they're at that you like, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be different for everybody. But even within those 6 songs, try to provide a little bit of diversity there as well. So that's kind of the best way I can think of to be breaking that algorithm and making sure you're getting the most out of the music that's available to you. Beyond that, what it really does is it gives you something to go to right away every time you flip on your Spotify to go to listen to music. A lot of times I'll be like, what do I listen to? What do I listen to? When I have this playlist there for me, it's always the go-to. Now, I might be listening to something else as well, but this is like, I can go to this and rely on it, just flip it on and let it rock. Typically, when I first compile the playlist, I'll listen to it from front to back a couple of times, and then I'll start putting it on random and letting it jump around and start appreciating it in that way. So it's entirely up to you how you want to digest it. But we're going to be putting this stuff out, and 2 weeks after I drop it, I'll do an update and say, hey, here's what I'm thinking of the playlist. Here's a particular track that I like. Best case scenario, these songs are driving you further into the band and all of their material. So this just makes it fun so that I make sure I'm always checking every box. Staying in touch with the bands I love, finding new stuff, and just growing my love for all the different bands. And so that's how it's designed. we shall see how it goes. For this month, I'll go ahead and reveal right now the bands that are going to be on it, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to get straight to that page. The bands for this month are No Fun at All, Bayside, Trashed Ambulance, Leftover Crack, Drug Church, Millington, Rancid, The Roughneck Riot, The Dopamines, and Strung Out. So, clear as day right there. This list fits exactly what I just described. You've got Rancid and Strung Out. It's two of my favorite bands of all time. Can't wait to rock out with them a little more. You've got Drug Church and Trashed Ambulance, who are bands that I'm dying to get more into. You've got also the Roughneck Riot falls into that category. Baysides along the lines of Rancid and Strung Out. And the Dopamines just dropped a new album that totally kicks ass, so I just feel like listening to them more. But let me go ahead and show you exactly how to get to this playlist. And then, yeah, that'll be that. Okay, so here we are taking a look at the Spotify page. It's up there now. Punk Rock Condition Volume 1 with all the bands that I described and all the songs already on there. There's going to be two ways to get there. Number one is by just clicking on the link in the description. It should take you right there. And the second one, I'll put an image here up on the screen to show you that if you're using your Spotify app, to go to the search bar, and then there's a camera icon, and you can take this like URL or QR code essentially, and just use the camera to go over that, and it'll take you straight to the playlist. So either through this image that I have on the screen here, or through the link, you should be able to get there. Yes, I get it's for Spotify users at this point. We will tackle making this entirely inclusive in the near future. So for now, find your way to this playlist, give it a listen, start rocking it out, start taking it in, discover some new favorites, revisit some old loves, and just have a blast with it. And if you give me any feedback, if you're digging it at all, say, I like this, I don't like that, blah, 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 blah. Any feedback on how you're taking it in is wonderful. I will do the same. Like I said, 2 weeks, I'll do a halfway point check-in and let you know what I'm thinking of everything, if I've discovered some certain tracks that are standing out, maybe potentially some records that I may have gotten into. We'll just see how it goes. So yeah, I hope that you follow it over here at the Punk Rock Condition Spotify page. Each volume that I put out will have different artwork that goes with it, so that they all have their own little identity. Sounds like a ton of fun. So there you go. Monthly playlist episode 1, Punk Rock Condition. See you on the next one.